Well, it's a fitting episode for you to wear headphones.
It's the headphones episode.
It's the headphones episode.
Oh my God.
Did you notice that we haven't even done Stations of the... We did one Station of the Cross. Well,
Did
he
you
did
forget?
do the...
He did the wiping of the
He did the
mouth.
wiping of the mouth.
In the second episode, I said that the blowing of smoke into each other's open mouths.
Oh,
Clearly,
it's a new
it's a station.
standard. Yeah. I actually think it shouldn't be Stations of the Cross because this is so
Devil's work.
not holy. There is whole work.
Yeah.
RJ, this show is... Did we make a poor life decision in choosing to recap this show? On one hand, no, right? Because
Yeah.
like
It's a gag. It's
a
entertaining. The
gag.
girls are loving. Eighth Sense was so emotionally gripping.
sure.
Cherry Magic was so like heartfelt.
Sure.
And we need something that's a little bit more realistic to what the gay experience is, I think, which is bad decisions, vices. Like, truly, if you're not smoking, you're drinking. If you're not drinking, you're abusing your body. Like, you know, it's just kind of like our thing. Mm-hmm.
Are you finished with that thought?
I think it was Boys Planet or
Was it Boys
Fantasy
Planet?
Boys. We've already said though, because Adam wants to finish my sandwiches, that he'll just do it for me. Therefore, speaking over a person of color.
Jesus
So
Christ. So episode 2. Okay, episode 1. We had voiceover. We had the
you want to
introductions of
adjust
the
this right
characters.
away. I will say, I just finished editing episode 2, and we really go all in on the talking heads.
Episode 2, we had talking heads, and we said
It's not for us.
it's a chop.
Episode 3, it's twats.
It's X's.
It's X's.
It's posts on X.
Famously, that's what they're called.
Yeah, posts on X.
Which is now that's every episode has its own device
Mm-hmm.
to like, I don't even know, to reveal what the truth is, because that's not really it.
This one I think does a better job of revealing
because
the
it's
subtext.
more, because it's anonymized.
Because it's like alt Twitters.
it's all Twitters, yeah.
I'm interested to see if they can keep this up for 12 episodes though.
That it's a different device every time.
That would be incredible.
That would be incredible.
Then I would say this is the best show ever created.
In the world.
And Nick wants to know on his alt Twitter, can friends with benefits last?
Adam, do friends with benefits last?
You tell me.
There was a benefit.
There was like
there was
a week and a half of benefits.
And then we were like,
like,
"Girl,
well,
I think we should be wed."
and to the chapel we went. The resounding answer
From alt Twitter.
from alt Twitter was no.
no, girl.
Was no, girl. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
Did I
It's,
say
it's
what did
giving the letters that you would get at like The Read or Ask Rana, and they would be like, "No, Nick."
It's definitely giving letters you send in to Dan Savage.
To Dan Savage. And
Yeah.
we're like, could this be more?
And
I
he's
love
like, no.
I think I love him, but he calls me his favorite. And I think that's really endearing and charming. And I think that's him actually trying to say that he loves me. And Dan would be like, "Get the fuck out of
It wouldn't be
my
great.
inbox."
It wouldn't be great. To then immediately from Nick posting on Twitter, we get a montage of hookup number 7. Hookup number 7.
And it's a montage of hookups.
Yes,
just showing
I'm
the different-
counting this as one.
Yes. It's the different, flavors. It's the different locales.
Oh, and there's flavors to be savored
Ooh, yeah.
in this montage.
You could say there are 32 flavors.
I went 31.
Nick said, "I've got the feels for you, yeah, 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 yeah.
is that?
You have stolen my heart, oh yeah. Never let it go, oh, oh. Never let it go, oh, oh, oh."
I think he
knows. He knows it's bad. He knows it's wrong.
This is the
he
moment.
Knows
This is the moment, and I think a lot of people have been there, where you're like, let me say this. I've been there where I was like hooking up with someone, and we went in to be like,
catching the feels.
oh, it's very casual. It's casual. I'm such an adult. I can keep things casual. I can separate the two. And then you start to be like, oh my God, but you're so nice.
But you're nice.
That's fair because Boston's not. I wouldn't say like Boston's quality that he likes is niceness.
That's true. What is it? What does he like? Is he just digmatized? Is that truly it?
I do think it is like a huge digmatization.
Yeah.
I don't think Boston calling him his favorite helped.
No, not at all.
And
but
being
it's
like
that thing,
practically being like, you're my muse right now.
Yes. That's the thing.
Artists, what are we doing?
Photographers,
leave
artists.
the muses out of this.
Yeah.
Leave Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah. The story of Nick is that like, you know, he's kind of blossoming. He's like becoming like a young adult for the first time, being independent.
They're all
being
college
told,
students.
yes, being told that like,
I just did it again. I just interrupted.
Being told that like you've got the best hole in the biz.
It would work. Sign me up.
I would be like, yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cooking. He's like, yes, I do provide for my husband. Absolutely.
Yeah. I cook.
I clean. It's not good.
I was going to say they're all university students, and yet Nick is the one that feels like a university student.
Actually, yeah. April is probably the only grown character.
We love April. And we love...
And a sensible lesbian haircut. Like a short...
Yo.
I mean, she owns the bar, so slay.
Boston is like, things can just stay the same. And famously, they never do. So when you hear yourself saying, I just want it to be like this forever, it won't be.
It won't be, girl.
We don't need to not live in the moment. I think that's the hard line people have is you don't want to get stressed out by the future anxiety of like what everything means. But also we can't live so in the moment that we can't anticipate things happening.
Like anticipate consequences that might happen.
Sure. We need to anticipate when the lover we've taken becomes infatuated with us.
Yeah.
And starts bugging our car. There's one thing I need to mention, that while Boston's in the shower, Mark finds the photo reel.
Yes.
This is the beginning of the end.
This is the beginning of the end. Because in the tweets that he was posting, you're not the only one.
Yeah, if he's not
like
committing to you,
that
it's
means
because he
others.
likes someone else.
He likes other people.
Yeah,
and that's when he finds
the infamous
photo booth where they hooked up, I guess, once,
or the hookup started. I have to assume. I can't imagine
that it was there.
Yeah,
and then Boston wrote on it saying "hot night."
Okay, that was like, we got it.
That they're using obviously like pictures and stuff because he's a photographer, but then also there's a thing of like he loves keeping trophies. You know what I mean? Like the idea,
like a serial killer. Jesus,
I mean that's
what's he keeping from Nick?
He took a picture of him.
Oh,
the pictures that he's taking of him
I see what you're saying.
His trophies.
Yeah. Normally, okay, with serial killer culture.
Oh yeah, okay. She's a true crime girly. So.
I used to be.
Then they went to Amazon.
They'll take like items.
Yeah. Exactly. Him, I think it's just because he's a photographer.
And then they went to Amazon. I just heard what you said. Wow, they did. It's true. You loved the phrase "nail and bail."
I did, because that's what Sand was about to do. They're a little too clothed for me, which Adam said that probably means they didn't have penetrative sex. They probably just, sucked some lollies.
My God, the way we have turned Sharing Magic was mere 3 weeks ago, and we were crying about how beautiful it was that Kurosawa and Adachi came out to their parents, and now we are talking about sucking lollipops.
Yeah,
you're a degenerate.
Ellen Degenerate.
That's a great
Coming
drag
to
name.
The stage,
Coming to
Ellen
the stage,
Degenerate.
Ellen Degenerate. Somebody, there's got to be a drag
There's
queen.
got to be.
Yeah, appreciate when they do this, and I feel like they have to do it a lot on like Korean stuff because they play so many word games.
Yeah. Yes, they have to find
the equivalent for American or like English speaking audiences to get the joke.
Yes.
Okay, so I watched the behind the scenes for this episode, and Neo has this whole part where he's like, if I'm getting hate, that means I'm doing my job correctly.
Honestly,
we're gonna have to talk about
that's-
Boston. I'll save it
Yes,
to the
yes,
end.
absolutely. Because this is the episode to Hey Boston. For sure. This is it.
Chum is gonna throw a pool party to like kind of soft
This-
launch.
Yes.
And they all have different roles that they're supposed to like provide stuff for. So like Mew is gonna get the food, and Ray is like, I'm gonna get the
Musician.
I'm gonna get the band.
I'm going to get the band. And everyone was like, you?
You and your mom's record that you play every day, the only music we ever see you listen to.
Because your mom died?
Right.
Ugh. No wonder he's
none of
looking
these
for
people are good friends.
They're not friends.
But obviously he wants to ask Sand.
Boston was like, oh, I might know. And they were like, well, we should probably hook up some security cameras in the place because it's not like rigged up yet to be at all safe.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think I know someone.
Top and Mew go on a little date night. We learned in this episode it's been 3 months since this has all started.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? So, okay, 3 months of fucking around. I don't blame Nick.
I don't blame Nick for catching feelings at all. 3 months of hooking up, and they're hooking up like it seems to be nearly daily. At least a couple times
But
a
what's
week.
crazy about where's the 3 month gap? Is it after Ray and Sand wake up together? So has it been 3 months since then? Or has it collectively been 3 months?
Oh.
And that just
Yeah, because
happened?
Ray and Sand don't seem like that's been 3 months.
No.
They
Maybe
still
it's been,
seem like they've been very fresh.
maybe it's been 3 months like before that moment. Before him like cock blocking him that night with the girl,
With the girl, sure.
which led to them hooking up that night. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Or is it
I
like
just wish that they didn't have to say the.
Or is it like
the
3
duration.
months since he asked him at the bar, like, will you be my boyfriend?
Yeah. Maybe.
For Top of Mew, it's been 3 months.
Yes. I
Of
don't know.
Whatever
Yes.
this is.
It doesn't feel like it's been 3
Top
months
is
for
calling it boyfriend. Mew is not
Not.
saying they're boyfriends.
It just doesn't feel 3 months for the other two couples. That's all. That's all we're trying to say.
I get 3 months more from
Boston and Nick. than
Boston and
Ray.
Nick. Yeah. So I was thinking about the scene, and in my head, I was like, what's the point? Like, is it
What's-
just to be
yeah.
like, they went out, they're still dating, they're still cute and flirty together?
I think it was.
And then I remembered that they get a visit from Beam. Do we remember Beam?
We do remember Beam.
Beam who lives.
Maybe Beam
could set off the fireworks. Or Beam who lives next door to the Even Stevens.
Yes.
Yeah, Beams.
Yeah. Beams. Beams? The special beams. I didn't know it was my beams.
The seam with Beam.
The seam with Beam is literally the queer experience.
It's
Is so the way I can't tell you.
I don't even know. I mean,
It is
yes,
literally
is.
like you're getting a drink at Roscoe's. You're with your you're with your partner. You're with blah blah blah, and then like someone that you've definitely hooked up with will be like, "Oh my god, hey, oh my god, I haven't heard from you in so
God, it's
long.
so good to
oh my
see
god,
you."
It's so good to see you. Oh my god, you look so good.
Especially if like this is an experience of like it's top.
It's
So
top.
anyone who would be coming back up to me would be like, please,
yeah,
daddy.
yeah. Please glaze.
What's
The bakery's still open, girly.
my God? The Krispy Kremes are hot
Krispy
and
Kremes are
fresh.
still
The
hot
light
and
is
fresh.
on, honey. You're disgusting. Is that on your list?
Of what? Foods not to be able to eat?
Yeah.
It's okay on the gout list, but it's not okay on the heart. Yeah, the heart.
high blood
the
pressure.
high blood pressure list.
Great. So Beam comes up and is like, Top.
Oh my
Hey.
god, hey.
It's so good to see you. Whenever you want me again, just remember that I'm one of the best you've ever had.
And I know how to ride you. Period.
See, this is the way it should have been handled.
Okay.
I don't think he needed to introduce him to Mew
Absolutely not.
because it's so clear what's going on.
Yes.
And then after Beam walks away, I think you should be like, we hooked up once.
We hooked up once, but
You don't even have
I
to
got
lie
tired
and
of
be like, it wasn't good or whatever. You can just be like, we hooked up once and whatever. And like,
by him just
but
saying
I haven't seen him since then.
But him just saying like it's not
It's nothing.
He's just a friend or whatever. Even just like saying, because you're not friends.
Do you think, I mean, like, yes, we know that Mew is a virgin. There's no way to not understand what just happened. Bean was so explicit about what he was saying.
Yeah.
I don't care that we're at and it's a silent disco. It had to be so loud.
So loud. He literally was like, I know you better than whatever. Like, he's like, I'm one of your best fucks.
My whole grips is basically what he said. I'm going to throw up. I can't believe I just said that. I don't have any of these people's like confidence. None of them. No. Not a single one.
No.
I don't even think I have Mew's confidence to say no.
No. Okay. Confidence level wise, I probably feel I'm like closer to either Mew or Nick. Because I do feel like once I know I have an in, I will like use it.
There's so many things I could say right now.
My fat ass, my cooking, the duck gulby that I just made today.
It was so good.
Austin goes to buy the cameras for Nick, and Nick's like, ooh, so we fucking again in my store? And he was like, no, I need for a project or whatever. And so Nick decides to help him out and was like, well, you'll just have to return the favor. And Boston was like, ooh, like what? Another go around the Boston mobile. And he was like, no.
I'm moving
and I need you to move shit with me.
Honestly, he's just moving in the building though. That's too terrible.
Yeah.
I will say there is a moment in the store where they talk about like different spy devices. This is a thing we'll find out later.
Chekhov's bug.
Chekhov's bug.
So he helps him move, and then that's when Boston finally. Well, Nick and Boston.
Everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows everyone.
But not everybody knows that everyone's linked.
Yes. So Sand's like, how the fuck do you two know each other? And they're like, he helps in my store or whatever. I don't even remember what he says. But he doesn't say like they're friends. Like,
no.
Boston was like, I go to his store or something like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Especially because knowing Boston, I'd be like, oh yeah, you're fucking. Ray is drinking at the bar, seemingly waiting for Sand to get there.
I think to ask him to play at the party.
Yes. Now, luckily, it's a bar. So Ray is,
drinking at
home.
2 p.m.
Yeah. And I just want to say, if you're at a point where you're asking your bartender for life advice.
Yeah. So we've both been hosts at bars.
We to be clear, we were first of all,
you were
very weird to be host at a bar.
Yeah.
I was a host at a bar and grill, basically. So it was a restaurant. You were a host at a bar, but it was a Disney bar, so it's a little different than like regulars.
Yes.
They're regulars, but not like drunk regulars, like theme park regulars, which is like a different energy of people. Yeah. The regulars at mine would be all the theme park cast members after their shift ended. And they would be like, hey, can we have the 10 top? Because there's going to be a bunch of us from Space Mountain coming over. And then 2 people would show up.
Yeah.
And then we'd have wasted a 10 top for them.
And for me, it was like the bar sat 30 people. So I was telling very rich people, like, you'll have to wait an hour. And they're like,
we have to sit outside.
For a bar? You put 30 people.
Anyway, what was your question about that?
Where do you stand on like people forming relationships with their bartenders?
I think it is.
I mean, I think it depends because I can see that. I can see that in like
a blanket statement.
I can see that working well for like if it's like a Cheers, if it's like
but they were definitely alcoholics on Cheers.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But that was like when we were like celebrating alcoholism.
It was funny.
It was fun. There is something about like a little honky tonk, a little dive. Moment that's funny because those are the dive bars where you're like, oh, these regulars are living lives where it's like, what is bringing you to this dive bar every night?
Yeah
It's not usually like I'm here to have fun.
Yes. It's definitely like
right. Ray and Sand.
So Ray's trying to ask Sand to play at this fucking party.
Yeah. Their sexual tension it's
crazy.
It's palpable.
Sand's like making food even Yo was like, you can't just use my kitchen or whatever, blah blah blah, but he does anyway.
This is where I brought up, I love like the class differential between the two of them. I think it's obvious. It's been obvious from the beginning, but I think the idea that
the subtleties of like what they're doing. Actually,
the fact that she was like, "You're only using my bar because it's free.
It's a free kitchen.
It's a free kitchen." I was like, "Oh, that's why he's using it. That's why he's selling moonshine. It's not because he's like, I'm a big moonshine guy. It's because he needs money.
He needs money."
Whereas Ray just is asking to give it away.
Yeah. He's literally paying people to drink with him.
Right. I feel like that money could be better used to, like, I don't know, feed a poor person or something. Although I guess if it's feeding sand. And you know what? Sand is getting fed.
Yeah. You think?
Oh, there's definitely mutual.
Just mutual.
Yeah.
That's nice.
They feel, should we say it? They feel verse to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which makes it really hot. Like, because something about verse sand.
Well, there's another character that we realize is also verse in this episode.
That's right. But that just seems like maniacal. That seems like...
That's Machiavellian. Yes. Yeah. I don't even know at this point if Boston is getting pleasure from sex.
I know, right?
I think he's doing it out of habit at this point.
Because there's that scene where he gets a hand job from Nick just standing up, and it just feels like, I just need to get ready for the day.
I need to...
Nut. But anyway, they are in this kitchen.
They're in this kitchen. They're talking about...
I really thought they were going to start making out.
What are they?
Yeah.
Again, all these questions about what are we?
And Sand is fully like, we're nothing.
We're just gonna say friends. We're only friends. We're at the house, the meeting of the minds, because they have to install the cameras.
They're installing the cameras. And
Nick sees Top.
Nick sees Top for the first time. And it's this crazy, like, he tunnel visions. He's looking at him. He's seeing the photo strip that he took a picture of and is now on his phone.
Yep.
And it's like puzzling the pieces.
He starts to like. He asks Boston, "Do you like Top?
Do you like Top?"
And ask me the question. I'm going to do. I'm going to be. Hi, my name is Adam, and I'll be performing the role of Neo as Boston today. I'm 31 years old, and I'm 5'10", and I do have a driver's license.
Do you like Top?
No. This is what we just counted. I think this is our 7th Thai BL, 6th or 7th.
Damn.
And a lot of them are very broad, right? Because I just think that's the Thai acting style, especially in comedies, is super broad. It reminds me of Philippine comedy stuff.
Rooted in melodrama.
Right.
But with that, the comedy is also...
There is so much subtext in this. It is so under the surface.
Yeah.
And even stuff like that, where it was really obvious that it was like, no. I still was like, this is so muted in comparison to like...
I know.
Wedding plan.
Yes.
Where it was like, woo, woo.
Boston is like, what? Why are you asking? Do you like Top now too? Like, he knows that everyone wants him, and it fuels the fire for him more. He's like, well, what? Do you also want to be with Top? And he's like, no, I was just asking. He's not my type. And Boston was like, yeah, me neither. He's too like handsome. I like a guy. Well, there's that whole
sequence where Nick like scrolls through Top's Instagram, and first of all, they should have done what Red, White, and Royal Blue did and actually make Instagrams for all these characters. It would have been so funny. But
yes, there was a montage of him like basically connecting to the dots that his name is Top. That's him.
He's hot.
He's
rich. Rich in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which then, okay. He sees Top and it's like, he's hung up over this Top. Does that play into wants this guy who I'm not and I can't provide?
Oh, I see.
What Top can give.
Sure.
You know?
Like, actually, it's,
fully, like, physically and, like, sexually, I'm not.
Nick could definitely top Boston.
Yes, but
Boston is a brat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a lot. I think it's many things. I think that's right in that cookie.
Yeah.
I think it's baked into it. Yeah.
So just at the end, Boston is like, I still like you because you're cuter, so don't worry about Top. And they go in for a hug.
He kissed him on the cheek.
So just remember that.
There's so much sexual tension at this party between multiple people. There's like...
It confused us, too. Because it's like, okay, I know...
Everyone is on...
Shum
is trying to get an A in this class.
Shum just wants to fucking pass this damn class.
This would be the worst group project in human history.
Absolutely. I would be so pissed if I, as Chum, knew what was happening.
April's just hearing every single day, like, my partner, they won't do anything.
Yeah. I will say they're probably doing work, but because they're not, like, I hope there's a scene where she just puts everyone in place of, like, enough. You need to start acting like an adult. You need to stay away from him. Like, I want that.
I don't think women need to solve men's problems either.
Oh my God, Adam, that's why you're feminist.
Feminist. Because I don't remember what order they're in, and my notes don't totally make sense.
Yes, yeah.
Here's what happens at this party. One is that Boston corners...
Ray.
No. One is that Boston corners Top.
By the punch, basically.
By the punch bowl.
Yeah.
And he's like, here's the thing. Ray and Mew, they definitely had a thing. And listen, I don't know if it's still going on. I'm just their friend. Why would I know something like that about my friends if they were hooking up?
But here's a picture.
Ooh. If you want to see more of that, catch me later.
At this time.
You're right. That's part one.
That gooped and gagged us.
Gooped and gagged?
Because I did not expect.
No, Boston's out of control.
Yes. I did not expect that was something that was even possible. That was the subtext that we had this entire time had been like, Ray is just protective over Mew.
We thought it was full, just like actual friends. Boston goes up to Ray, also at the party, and is like,
look, I know what you're trying to do. You know that
you should just tell him you still like him.
You still like him. You know Mew shouldn't be with Top. So just do it.
So just tell him you like him and get back together and try to work it out and blah, blah, blah. And Ray's like, bitch.
And that goofed and gagged us too, because then it was like, oh, okay, he's not just making it up.
Right.
It's got some merit. Like there was something that happened. We don't know to what extent.
Right. There's a photo of a kiss.
And
I feel like we'll find out more later. Top goes to take Mew home away from Ray after he's found out this information that Ray and Mew are maybe a thing.
They may have
had a thing. They don't know. Now he's like feeling jealous, which is like an interesting thing for someone like Top to feel. But I mean, it's a human... whatever. And he's like, he's my boyfriend, so I'm gonna take him home. Very passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
And Ray's like, okay. Have a great night. We're getting more of these tweets. Boston tweets, I just want you to do him, not date him.
I know. So these tweets are popping off like in between all of these moments that are happening in the party.
Then he tweets, I got him first. I have the right. Boston sends Nick home alone. He's like, sorry, I have to help clean up. I'm just such like a people pleaser. I need to help clean. You know, I'm such a clean freak.
Yeah. So see ya.
Bye. Nick is like,
okay. So we don't know where he goes, but presumably he goes home. Sand and Ray
are like, Sand is waiting for his Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it doesn't come.
And Ray is like,
so
I can just give you a drive home.
Let me take you home.
This is crazy that Ray's not drunk.
I know.
Because it's definitely a party where there was drinking.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
So I do wonder, I was going to say, was he not drinking because he was feeling whatever with all the things being brought up about Mew and like the tension?
I think that would lead him to drink.
But that would lead him to drink.
The only thing is I can think is like, because it's technically like a school function. It's like a part of the project. He wants, not even that, but just like in order to make sure it doesn't go shitty, because they are hosting it.
Yes, totally.
Fair enough.
Sure, whatever. But he offers to take Sand home.
To drive him home, which Sand is like, okay. And then they start making out in the car. And then he gets a call from
Mew. Because
Mew has gotten home but realized that he's lost his keys.
He's lost his keys.
Haven't we all been there?
Top took him home and was getting texts. I can't believe
this. This is. I felt
Top
like I
was getting texts from Boston being like, "You coming?"
CUMMIN.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apostrophe
Where are you?
question mark. You up?
You up?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And Mew's like, "Who's that? Should you get that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just my dad. Whatever.
My dad's having problems at the hotel.
So I gotta go
at the Shangri-La."
But Top is like finding an excuse not to go. He keeps being like, "No, let me stay. I'll stay the night." And he was like, "No.
Go
Clearly,
help your dad.
you have
It's
a problem. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm not even that drunk."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm not that drunk. I'm just gonna whatever."
Yeah. Mew forgot his keys.
He
calls Top. Top doesn't answer.
Does not answer. He's a little busy.
That's not good. He calls Ray. Ray does answer.
Ray does answer, even though Ray's also busy. So literally in the middle of making out, like they're about to like fuck in this car, and he answers the phone.
Wouldn't be the only people.
He answers the phone, and
the phone.
Mew is like, "Please get me. Please help me. Can I stay at your place?
Can I stay at your place tonight?"
And he tells Sand, "I have to go help a friend." And Sand was like, "Well,
it's probably not meant to be at all, and we should it should just have been a one-time thing." Because Sand is like, "I've never done more than one night stand with someone."
Yeah.
It's either been
we come to find out that Top has come to Boston. And in Boston's car, he shows a video. We don't know what.
We didn't see the video.
The tapes. But he's like, it's a video that proves basically that
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago that something could still be going on with Mew and Ray.
This is diabolical.
And Boston is just full villain mode. Like,
oh, it's so
it's like, see, like Mew's not as like pure as you think he is. He's actually been playing you this entire time
because he's trying to make Ray jealous.
He's trying to make Ray jealous. It's really not about you at all. So who gives a fuck whatever we do? Because he's just trying to get. It's not real. You guys aren't. It's not a real relationship. Or Top like tries to resist it, but then it just clicks, and then he just doesn't resist anymore. And they proceed to have the most voracious, loudest
very
sex.
Important that it's loud. Audibly
loud sex in his tiny little Ford Anglia.
Yeah. From the Forbidden Forest.
And we like see...
And it's... I hate to say it.
Probably one of the hottest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even joking.
It's
truly one of the...
When Force...
Okay. Adam.
There is a part when
I'm
Force...
literally about to say the same thing. Grabs his butt and like... He just starts...
I felt that.
Yes. I felt that he was doing it. Like he was just thrusting.
It was a real moment.
We can't be delusional, right?
No,
this is a show.
This is a show. This isn't real. They're fully clothed.
They're wearing underwear.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That is one of the hottest. Like objectively, just pull out the scene with the context.
One of the hottest sex scenes I've ever seen.
In episode 2, he like let Boston like feel him up.
Yeah,
and then he was like, "No, okay, this is. I mean, he's making the decision.
He's making the decision to hate fuck
and
Boston.
I'm not saying this to give any credence to what he does.
Yes,
he has not had sex in
3 months.
For a person who looks like that and has probably been having sex very regularly since he was like, I don't know, maybe 16 even. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Boston defender. Roll the clip. There I am. And you can all sit there because I'm ready to defend Boston right now. I want to say this. I think Neo is doing
a fantastic
He's
job.
So good in this role.
So good.
He's so good in this role.
Absolutely.
I think he's like just messy. I don't even he is absolutely not a good friend.
Yeah.
For sure. And like this is so shitty and shady. Yeah. And what's the reason? But like
it's not even clear. I mean, it just feels so shallow. The reason feels so shallow.
I know.
You just want to be with Top again.
Right.
But you're not going to date.
No.
You don't want to have a relationship with him. That's why it's confusing. He really just wants to fuck him.
He just wants to feel like he's better than Mew.
Yes. So that he can go back to the well, we've had sex and I've been able to. It's not like he's gonna tell Mew,
but it's weird.
Just
that's the weird part. Is he still has This is what's crazy about this whole thing.
Yeah.
He has not told Mew that they've ever hooked up. So there is a level that he respects Mew enough to be like, oh, I don't want to tell him flat out, but he wants the personal, intimate knowledge of knowing, like, in this time when he has to actually choose between me and Mew, he did choose me. A lot of people that go through like figuring out who they are and like finding their self-worth and their self-value. Absolutely. And like we've talked about how Boston probably only values himself for what his sexual acts.
Yes.
There is like definitely a level with Boston where it's like once you have this like his life is going to fall apart. Like there's no way you can do all of this shit and then like have it not blow up in your face. Like it's so you're setting dynamite around yourself purposefully, and maybe you're doing it subconsciously because you do like need something big to happen so you can have a reason to refresh your life. Maybe your brain. I mean, truly, like
your brain is just waiting for the bubble to burst.
This is like not even not common. This is like why when people cheat in relationships, they like leave clues. So then like it can be the escape hatch. Yeah. They want out, but they can't be bold enough to just say it. And I think there's like a similar thing that happens in a lot of like people's careers and stuff like that. Like they just try to leave little like breadcrumbs to be like, find the truth. So then it's on. I don't have to make the decision. Like I'll still be the victim.
Yes. Because it's like, oop, I was busted.
But I do think there is a scenario in which everything does blow up. Everything gets out of control. His friends tell him who he is. He realizes for himself who he is, whatever. And I do think there is like a road to like reflectively looking back and like figuring your shit out and then being like a better person down the line. Like I don't think there's a world in which like Boston is a villain and like should never be seen, like should be shut in a jail cell for the rest of his life.
Yeah. There's a reason why it's happening. There's a reason why it's happening in the third episode, I feel like.
Oh yeah, we have a whole 3/4 left of this show.
That I think you have to show him go to the very lowest.
Oh, I hope this is the lowest. Oh God.
I really hope so too.
This is not great. Okay, so in thinking about that was hookup number 8. I do want to point that out. Oh,
Nick is seen looking at the car, watching the car. First of all, watching the car literally like do this,
just squeaky
squeak. And they are fucking so loudly.
He's wearing headphones. Horrified.
And you come to find out in the post-credit scene, a little Easter egg, a little marvel. When he and Boston like talked in his car, he put a bug in the car. So he is listening in real time to this entire from the entire conversation up to now of them just loudly fucking.
And this could be unlocking a kink for him that we do not know.
Could you imagine if episode 4 is like, I'm a cuck.
That would be the absolute wildest turn the show could take.
And like now Nick like having to manage like, okay, what does it mean to like consensually have a kink and like how to manage that in a relationship? So mature, so sexually mature.
So sexually mature. I don't think that's where
it's going. Based on his tears. But it's not.
It's frustrating because Nick is so likable at this point in the show. I mean, they've built him to be
truly.
He's like a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh,
like just swept away. But it's funny in the trailer for the next episode, it doesn't look like anyone tells anyone is going to say anything because.
But there's no way that this is going to go.
Yeah.
Unremarked upon. At the end of every episode, I don't know if RJ, are you familiar with the Homeland Security Advisory System? It's the 5 terror threat levels.
Oh God,
I think we're going to need to start placing the characters on a mess threat level. Okay. 5 is severe risk of mess. High is high risk of mess. Elevated, significant risk of mess. Guarded, general risk of mess. And low risk of mess.
Okay, this is really bad. Picturing this happening in real life, it's pretty bad. The bugging, that's really bad. Being caught live.
This is the thing is Nick is not, I do think Mew is the lowest risk of mess.
Absolutely. He just had a great night.
He was just having fun with his friends.
Mew was like, my God,
my boyfriend walked me home.
My boyfriend walked me home. Our project was like...
He lost his keys. And you know what?
Yeah.
That's it. And honestly...
Not a classic mess because it's like, I'll just sleep in my rich friend's house for the night. I'll put sand.
Sand.
Because the seeds have been planted.
Here, I'm gonna say it's just Mew.
Okay.
You
think sand is one?
I think Sand and Nick are guarded. They are the moderate risk, general risk of mess.
Nick?
Yeah. Because he's bugged the car, which he kind of did to himself. I think Nick and Sand are both like doing things
to protect themselves,
but also like engaging with people that they know are bad for them.
I know.
But they're not foisting it upon the world.
Yeah.
They're like internalizing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put them at level 2.
Oh, yeah.
Level 3, I think, is only because something's going to crack. He is a ticking time bomb. He's ready to go off. They all know he's drunk. No one's really addressing it and being like, you actually need to get help. Everyone knows about his dead mom. No, like, you just know.
Pressure cooker.
It's a pressure cooker.
Yep.
So I'm going to put him at 3. I'm putting Top at 4 because the reason he's not as bad, well, it's clear why he's not as bad as Boston, but he is under false information.
Yeah.
Or not contextualized information. He's not necessarily...
He made the wrong decision.
Because Boston did frame everything as being like, so we don't really know what's going on with them now.
That's true.
He was like, definitely 2 years ago. Because he was upfront about that. He was like, oh, this video's from 2 years ago. Because I was curious if he was going to say, oh, it was like right before you got to the party or whatever. Wasn't that? He did say it was 2 years ago. And then he's just framed everything by being very like guys with podcasts, right-wing guys with podcasts, being like, we're just asking questions.
Yeah.
We're just asking questions.
Yeah.
And like, no, that's not what you do. So Top is a little less culpable because he's under misinformation.
Yeah.
A victim. Boston
is
oh my God,
the biggest threat to society. Boston is in the no-fly list. He is not allowed.
Boston. Logan International Airport is not letting you in Miss Boston.
No.
Did you like that reference?
Boston, you can't fly into Boston.
Yeah. In or out?
In or out. You can't take the Silver Line.
No. It's so bad. Boston. Oh.
I think that what truly makes it worse is that you don't know where the end goal is or what the end goal is.
He doesn't know what the end goal is.
He doesn't know what the end goal is.
He is like a full chaos agent.
He is just being like, I'm just focused on getting it done. And once it's done, it looks like he just goes back to normal life, like fucking Nick again. Oh. So it's like, okay, it's just a self-satisfaction.
So he won this one thing, and then like
that no one was competing for.
He thinks no one's gonna ever find out about this. This is great, and it's not gonna satiate your appetite. No. Because like, okay, Boston, let's say, here, let me speak directly to Boston. Miss Boston, here's what's gonna happen. You hooked up with him. You got fucked. Great. Happy for you. Okay, whatever. It was great. I'm sure it was great. From what I saw, it was great. He, in the world in which you are imagining, you're both then just going to go back
to regular
life. Which means that you're going to go back to Nick and pretend like this didn't happen. He doesn't even know Nick hurt. So like he could feel it fully like lie to Nick and be like, oh yeah, nothing. Like he doesn't feel guilty about this at all in regards to Nick. You have to imagine that Top is then also going to go back to Mew and then like not ask questions about this Ray situation that you decided to plant seeds of, which was a bad idea. And then even if he like answers in the affirmative and then he's like, oh, it was in the past, but we don't feel that way about each other anymore. He's probably still going to pick Mew again.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be back where you were, having to hang out with them and watch him flirt with Mew when you want it to be you. So then what are you going to do this again? We're just going to keep playing this game?
The only result that could actually happen is that everyone finds out and you literally lose everyone.
And like...
And if that's what you want...
it's... choo-choo, baby. The train's coming.
Yeah. Coming around the train and riding. Coming around the train, it's the choo-choo train. All that to say, Adam. All that to say. You get to choose this time because I picked last time and I picked Nick and you were mad that I picked the one that you were going to pick. So go ahead.
There's so many, everyone is so good
in the show. Yeah.
And I'm not going to pick Nick again, even though I absolutely could for this end moment.
You know what it is? I think it's because they have a really meaty script to work off of.
Oh my God.
And that these characters have more than just one side to them.
Yes.
So everyone gets to...
Everyone is so complicated that like you can play the difference. It's just like...
it's an actor's
everybody.
Dream. Truly.
Yeah. I'm going to say khaotung as Ray. I really liked the scene with Yo in the bar. I thought that was very like emblematic of like who he is and where it's like the most peaceful I've seen him.
Yeah, I know.
Which is like a bummer.
It's a bummer that it was like bar.
It was sweet how he was like getting along.
Cuz that's the thing, when he's got a nice buzz going, he's
so sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And I think that he is playing that this character has still some good left in him.
Oh, for sure.
He is just so clouded and unable to access it.
But really, it's the scene where Boston is like, you should just tell him you like him. And his like,
yeah,
I can't, why are you bringing this up?
Why are you bringing it up?
That was so, I mean, I gooped and gagged.
Gooped. Truly.
I was so shook by that information.
I thought that was Boston just making some shit up.
Yes. I loved it. And then I love, now that I see it, I read so much more into the scene in the car when him and Sand are making out and him choosing to be like, we can just like hook up and it's fine. It doesn't have to be more than that. Because he still does harbor feelings for Mew to some capacity, right?
That he feels it's like wrong to like,
and it gives so much more texture to him and like why he hates Top.
Yeah. I thought he was just being good Judy.
I thought he was being like, oh, Top's an asshole.
And
he is.
But that's the thing. I really am I'm hoping that they actually is like, yeah, I may have liked you a lot before, but now I just really care for you and I just want the best for you.
Yeah. I think that's probably what it is it's not like I'm still in love with you. Although maybe with this show, I have no idea. But I just think he does. It's a really good performance this episode. Yeah.
I will give it to Nick again. He literally goes through an entire roller coaster in this episode.
The anxiety when he's doing the like tweets.
And here's the thing. It's so relatable.
He is such a relatable character. More so than Mew. Just getting swept up into it and being like, oh, this is like my adult romance that I like get to have. And I'm so adult because like I obviously can handle just like separating sex and like love and lust.
Yeah.
And then you're like in it and you're like, I actually don't know how to do that. Yeah. That's a skill you have to learn.
Yes. Yeah. Or like build a callus.
A tolerance too.
Basically.
Yeah.
The winner hookup of the episode is the Ford Anglia. You got I've never seen. It's the most simulated hate fucking. When he grabs his butt. When he grabs him and just literally
like like rises
off of the seat to make sure he's really in there.
Yeah. I just want to say congratulations to whoever Force is constantly having sex with. Whoever it may be. Whoever you are, congratulations to you.
Congratulations, Book. Oh my God, amazing.
Not even, I just truly, whoever it is, whoever is lucky enough to really experience what that is, because that is, wow. I mean, that's a real Nick. That's a Nick situation where you'd just be like, sure,
anything,
whatever you want. Doesn't.
Yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cleaning.